Hello, class. This week we are reading chapter 15 of Worthington, Coming to Peace with Psychology. In the beginning of the chapter, he talks about moral development theory, plainly saying that ethical behaviors are guided by ideal human traits. And he goes on to say that when you practice these ideal traits, you this is when you live good life, happiness, and so on. Is just basically saying that what you're taught as a child is how you learn to behave. I feel like this has two contexts. First, saying that being taught these traits is what can make you a good person, but ultimately, it's up to the person how they choose to behave as they become older. So, if a person is living in a bad environment when as they grow up, and they don't learn any good behaviors, they can very well grow up and adapt good behaviors on their own. And then, in another way, people can come up in a good household where they're taught these traits, and they can very well must decide that they don't want to follow these traits. Later on in the chapter, Worthington discusses the Mary and Mary's mother. Okay, Mary in this chapter was 3, and she was playing with her mother's jewelry, and so her mother, it seems like she tried a lot of different scenarios at one time. And with Mary only being 3 years old, I'm sure that it was hard for her to comprehend, even though she expressed that she understood what her mother, was telling her and that she was being punished. She still went on to play with the jewelry, and she didn't listen. She didn't even perform the timeouts. And this section is talking about how if maybe Mary had been just 4 years old, she would have begun to develop her moral reasoning, and the behavior that her mother wanted to exhibit from her could have Mary could have listened and understood exactly what her mother was telling her. Mary, you shouldn't be playing my jewelry. I'm not sure if this is something that in Mary's situation that she had been in trouble with before, because I don't believe personally that doing one wrong thing the first time warrants punishment. The first time should kind of be a warning, especially with a child as young as 3. But Mary's mother, I guess maybe she had done this before, and Mary just wanted her to, understand, hey, I told you this was wrong the first time, so now you have to be punished. But I feel that with continued punishment, even at 3.5 years old, Mary could have begun to understand, but it wouldn't have happened. She wouldn't have understood the first time. So, now, as you grow older, you do begin to understand things better. And I believe that in terms of our moral capabilities, this is something that grows with us. And like I said before, ultimately the decision is up to the person. And Worthington thinks that psychological science can help with our moral development. But that is it for this week, guys. I will see you next time. Good night.